Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Today's gonna be a bit of a different one, but before I do that, I want to announce that I'm gonna be at the Bristol Veg Fest this weekend, and I'm gonna be there the whole weekend, both days. I'm gonna be at the Vivo Life booth along with other influencers such as Simon Nutrition, Nimai Delgado, and my brother's gonna be there. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So if you guys want to come say hi and have a chat, I'll be there all day just to meet you guys. It's gonna be amazing. So if you guys live in the UK, in London, or any part of Europe, and you can make the flight or the trip to Bristol this weekend, that'll be amazing. I can't wait to meet you there. Please come say hi. I don't bite. I love talking to you. So yeah, that's it. That's just a little announcement. So recently I have completed 3 years of being vegan or plant-based, and I figured why not just sit down or stand up and talk to you guys about all the changes that I've seen in these past 3 years. So what I'm gonna do is divide it into 3 different sections: health, body, and mind. So the first one we're gonna talk about is health. How did going vegan impact my health over the last 3 years? So just to go into a very short summary, before going vegan, I ate a bunch of meat every single day for multiple meals, and the portions were really big. So red meat, poultry, eggs, dairy, a lot of that stuff. I was also going to the gym trying to build muscle and thought that those foods were absolutely essential to doing so, so I ate a bunch of them. But the first thing that I noticed almost immediately after going vegan was that my acne got a lot better. So I've struggled with acne since I was about 15 years old, and it got really bad to a point where I had huge cysts, and my face was completely covered in acne, and it was not something that I could personally ignore. I didn't feel that comfortable in social situations, especially when it came to talking to girls, because I knew that people were just staring at those huge spots on my face. And that really crazy amount of acne lasted for a long time, until I was about 18 and I jumped on Accutane. So eventually, after taking the Accutane, my pimples or my acne started to go away. So I was really happy, but eventually after 2 years of taking Accutane, my acne came back. And really a couple months prior to going vegan or plant-based, that's when my acne flared up pretty badly again. So I tried like 3 different antibiotics, and I took them, it didn't work. So I just, decided to stop. And by the time I turned vegan or plant-based, my acne just didn't come back. Whether or not that is because of dairy or because of, processed meats or anything, I don't know, because there's so many different causes for acne, and doctors don't even know exactly what the cause is. I've gone through loads of testing, but since I switched to a plant-based diet, my skin has been clear for a long time. I still get, spots here and there, when I do more oily foods or processed foods, but it was nothing like it used to be when I was eating a lot of dairy, eggs, and a lot of meat as well. The next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is constipation. I know it's kind of a gross topic, but it's an important one because it's something that I've been struggling with, especially when I started going really serious into fitness and eating a lot of animal products and a lot of meat in particular. So as many of you guys know, foods that are rich in fat, as meats are usually, it digests a lot slower, which can cause problems, especially if you're eating it with fast digesting carbohydrates and fruits and stuff. And also that meat doesn't have any fiber, and fiber is the thing that will make everything go through you smoothly. So some people are more sensitive than others. Apparently I was not tackling the increased intake of meat well at all. Sometimes I would go a whole week without going to the bathroom, and obviously when you're going to the bathroom, you're getting rid of the waste, all the stuff that your body does not want. And imagine having that stuff laying around in your body for a whole week. So that was one of the things that I got fixed straight away, because I was not consuming meat, which had all this fat without the fiber, and on top of that I was including more plant foods, which obviously are very high in fiber. So that was like instantly fixed within a week or 2. I was going to the bathroom regularly for the first time in so many years. And the last point about health that I've noticed a big difference in is the frequency of which I get a cold or a flu. And when I do get a cold, it doesn't last a whole week or several days. It only lasts 1 day, and I'm usually good to go. I haven't had long-lasting periods of sickness or having a cold for a long time since going vegan. So that is amazing, because that is something that I really struggled with before. And a lot of you guys, actually no one knows this because I haven't shared it before, but growing up I had a lot of respiratory issues. I grew up with a lot of allergies to a bunch of different things. I grew up with asthma. So as a kid I was often hooked up to the nebulizers that you just put on your face like a mask, and you just breathe in this special air to help your kind of like airways clear up. I also had a lot of mucus in my lungs constantly. So yeah, it was pretty tough when I was a kid, and that got rid of itself with the years. So I kind of grew out of it, and that happened before I was vegan, so it's not really something to do with being vegan. But I've recently been able to notice that it's gotten even better. But in general, in terms of colds and flus, because of the increased amount of antioxidants from eating a lot of fruits and berries, I haven't been able to stay sick for more than 1 or 2 days in a row. So now we're gonna talk about the body changes that I've noticed in the past 3 years of going vegan. So I know that this doesn't mean that everything is because I'm vegan. It's not that being vegan just magically gives you muscles or something, but this is important because this is my experience and that's all I can share. So in the last 3 years I have put on a lot of muscle mass naturally without taking steroids or hormones. I know the haters out there like to call me out on this. The whole point of me documenting my journey here on YouTube was to show what is possible naturally, because I think if you're taking steroids or hormones, I think you can gain weight and put on muscle by eating grass. So it goes against what I've been trying to show for the last 3 years here on YouTube if I were to jump on gear or something. And either way, I wouldn't even want to because of all the side effects, with your heart and hormonal levels and baldness and that kind of stuff. I haven't really done DEXA scans to know exactly how much muscle mass I've been putting on, but I think I've put on at least 10 kilograms or 22 pounds of lean muscle, of pure muscle, and that is a pretty good amount, a very good amount for someone who is natural to put on. Obviously there are loads of different factors such as training frequency, how hard you're pushing yourself in the gym, genetics plays a part in it, and nutrition obviously. How much I should attribute to a plant-based diet and how much I should attribute to genetics and how much I should attribute to my training method is impossible for me to say. And I don't even think that that is the most amount I could have put on, because I could have paid more attention to my nutrition. I really love eating intuitively. I don't like tracking everything, so I could have done a better job there. But again, I'm not a professional bodybuilder. I'm not trying to step on stage and be the world's best bodybuilder or something. So I'm really happy with the way I've done things, and my main goal is just to prove what is possible on a plant-based diet. So I did not notice that after going vegan that my strength and muscle mass gains were slowed down at all. And I actually think it went up, it sped up a lot, and that is probably just because of eating more carbohydrates, like I said before. It doesn't really necessarily have to do with being vegan at all. I wouldn't say it's just because of the diet, but it does go to show that being vegan does not limit your potential in terms of muscle growth and strength at all. By being unhealthy, I was able to put on a lot of fat. Not able, I didn't want this, but I went through a phase where I was just binge eating on ice cream and cookies, and I didn't really feel motivated to do that much training either. So I did go up to 224 pounds with a lot of body fat, probably around 20% body fat, which for me is very high, and that is the only time in my life I've ever been that high. And obviously, sure enough, by eating those foods, I did get fat, even if I was a vegan. If it's processed, it's gonna get you, to gain weight because of the excess amount of calories. And if you eat a cleaner diet, you're gonna find it easier to lose weight and lose body fat, or make lean muscle gains. Okay guys, so the last category, and the most important one for me personally at least, is the mind. So since going vegan 3 years ago, I have developed a lot as a person. I was forced to look at things from more of a unbiased point of view. So instead of just accepting the consensus from society in whatever it is, since going vegan, I have been a lot more critical to the information that people give me. I don't blindly trust a person just because that person has street cred or because he has a PhD in something. So I do a lot more research. I try to get second opinions, third opinions, 100 opinions, and look at things from as many angles as I can before daring to come up with my own point of view or perspective. And once I do come up with that point of view or perspective, I don't cement myself in it. So I don't say this is my opinion now I've heard these a dozen opinions and I've come up with my one and my one is correct. Definitely not. It's also been very important for me to accept that no one knows anything. No one knows anything. We have all kinds of experts in life and no one knows what the hell they're doing. We're all the same. We're all just trying to figure it out in this world. And realizing that made me realize that I also have I don't have the answers. I don't know any better than anyone else. And I'm not going to choose one perception or point of view or opinion and ignore everything else. I realized that I was wrong about a lot of things. I realized that there was more to it than just taste buds and muscles. And there are a lot of different things and layers to all kinds of topics you want to discuss. And for me, understanding the layer of the animal industry and diet made me realize that I should be thinking in that way in all aspects of life. So I really tried to be even more open-minded than I was before going vegan. I tried to really ask myself and second guess my opinions and try to understand where the person that is disagreeing with me is coming from, and really try to empathize with those people. And that is something that I think a lot of vegans struggle with. And it's not just vegans, it's just everyone in general. And I'm not saying I'm perfect at this, but people get too obsessed with their own point of view that they're just not accepting of anything else, and they just get stuck in their own ways and become ignorant because of it. And that is just a trap that I really want to avoid. The world is it's not a simple place. It's a very difficult to understand place, and we got to stop pretending that we know everything. That is, if someone says they know everything, they got things figured out, it is not true. They have it the least figured out. By the time I went vegan, I also had exposure to some other vegan influencers trying to promote veganism. And I saw this behavior in extreme ways where people would call out random people as murderers or abusers, rapists, and that kind of stuff. And that was one of the things that really didn't want me to have anything to do with this lifestyle at all. So it's really important to realize that it's not all about veganism. There are so many problems in life. There are still kids in slavery. There are so many messed up things in this world, and we can't just pretend that saving animals or not eating animals will put you on the high horse and make you superior to everyone else. Everyone has their own reality, and people don't see your reality because the way you see things is your own, and you can't expect everyone to see it right away. And a lot of vegans pretend that going vegan is the answer to everything, which is absolutely BS. It's absolutely not the answer to everything, far from it. But having said that, veganism or eating a plant-based diet does have a big impact on your everyday life, on the environment, on the animals. If everyone were to collectively eat more plant-based or 100% vegan diet, there would be a lot of problems would be solved. And there are a lot of problems in the world, and that doesn't mean that you should just ignore the diet side of things, because it is a massive impact, because we're putting food in our mouths several times a day, and that is a really easy and convenient way to impact the world in a positive way, to decrease rainforest destruction, species extinction, and so many other things that I don't really want to go into depth. Just watch the documentaries and you'll understand what I'm talking about. But it's very convenient, as opposed to trying to end poverty. That is a lot more complicated. So I feel like, tackling something that I'm in control over personally every single day, multiple times a day, is a no-brainer for me. I've become much more of an accepting person and non-judgmental person, and that is not really something that you can't achieve without being vegan. But being vegan does set you up for a lot of criticism, and I've learned to just accept rather than trying to defend myself. I've learned that it is just human nature to try to collectively attack a subculture or a small group of people who are not doing the same as they are. And it's just something that I you know, have come to accept. So going vegan, rather than making me angry and want to attack everyone and kill everyone, it definitely had the opposite effect. It definitely made me more humble and more sympathetic towards other people who do things differently, no matter what it is. I think just living in alignment with my values in terms of being non-judgmental, being accepting, and just doing my best not to harm other beings or humans and that kind of stuff. You know, just those core values that most of us has, just living in alignment with them as closely as possible, because it's not possible to be perfect, but you know, being as close to that as possible has made me really happy. Now, I'm not saying that I don't have ups and downs like everyone else, of course I do, but yeah, just living in alignment with what I believe in. Just, yeah, I think that is the most important thing a person can do to find happiness, and that has definitely worked for me. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think it was a bit too long, but let me know what you thought. Was it too long? Was it too short? And if you're vegan, let me know in the comment section below what you have gone through since switching from a meat eating diet to a plant-based diet. And if you guys need help to get in shape for summer or for any time of the year, we also do provide the best online programs on the market, plant-based vegan programs. So check it out at jonvenus.com. Love you guys. See you soon. Peace out.